section, we are going to cover while loops. And as we discussed in our previous sections, in the Python, we have two types of loops. One of them is a for loop that we already covered in our previous sections, and today is a while loop. So let me just remind one more time what is the loop is all about. So the loop is a line of codes that we have. Let me just demonstrate it over here. So let's imagine we have a couple lines of code. It may be maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 10. So as much as we have. And in a certain condition, we will ask the program, the Python, to keep repeating them, keep executing them. So in the previous sections, we had a for loop. In a certain condition, it was keep repeating them. Now we have a while loop. So what is the while loop looks like? So we have a pack of codes that we want to execute all the time. So but in the beginning we need to write that we have a while loop and we have a boolean of the true. So do you remember that in the booleans we have two of them, we have even false or true. So if and only if the case is true, and we will ask the Python to execute these codes. If whenever it's not true, whenever it falls, just break it, stop the loop. So if I give the example, imagine that you have a swimming pool and you are trying to fill it with the water. So you can say if it's empty, keep filling it unless it gets full. So you see, so while it's empty, just keep filling that. So let's see how it looks like in Python. So I will give an example. I will say x, let me just give a variable x is equal to 0. So that is my the variable that the integer 0 was assigned to the x. And I will say while x is less than 5. You see right now I have a boolean, I have a condition right now. So in these conditions, so I have a while, which is my loop, and that is my boolean. So you see, so right now x was 0 and that x is less than 5, which as a result, it gives me a true. If that is true, so right now I'm going to execute it. I will say, I want to print x. So, but do you remember that if I have a loop, that means my code is going to be run and it will come back again. So that is my line number 1, that is my line number 2, line number 3, and so on and so on and so on. So whenever they finish all my lines, and it will come back again to the while and double check. If it's still true, I will do one more time. If it's still true, I will do it one more time. So the loop is going all the way whenever we say stop it, whenever the condition, whenever the boolean is false. So what I mean with the boolean, so here you see I just have a simple while loop which is with one line of code. So I'm asking Python, hey, can you keep printing x for me? So right now what is the x? The x is a 0. You see? So right now what it's going to do is it is going to print x, it is going to print a 0, and it will come back again. It will double check. Is still x is less than 5? Yes, less than 5. Print it. Will come back again. Is the x is still less than 5? Yes, and it'll come back. So right now, if I run it, it will go infinitive line. So it will keep printing 0, 0, 0, 0 all the time unless I stop it. So let me just run it. And it will take forever, you see? So even from this side, you can see that my program is still running. So I need to somehow stop it because I need to give another condition that my boolean becomes as a false. So each time I will tell that whenever you print the x, whenever the 0 was printed, now I want to reassign my x because in the beginning it was 0. So for each loop I will tell that, so for the next time x is equal to x plus 1. So right now it was 0 plus 1. So my x is changed now. You see, it's not the x anymore. It's not the 0 anymore. So right now it will come back and double check if 1 is less than 5. Yes, execute it. So in the second loop, in the end of the second loop, it was 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So my x is equal to 2 right now. So if I run it, it is going to print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me explain one more time what is going on over here. So in the beginning, in the first loop, my x is equal to 0. Okay, before finishing my first loop, what is going to do it is going to execute that one. I mean, like, it is going to run that code. So the x is equal to 0, so print it. So my x is not a 0 anymore, and the x is equal to 1. So my second loop, x is equal to 1. So it double checks here. Is the x is still then less than 5? Yes, the boolean is true. Execute it. I mean, do whatever is under the while loop. So it is going to print 1. So, but it's already printed. Now it will add one more on that my 1. So it was 1 plus 1, which is equal to. So for the next one, x is equal to 2. So it is going to be printed 2 for me. You see? What if, you see, I have a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What if I want to include number 5? I want to get it printed. What I need to do is, there's two ways. I can say that print all of them like this one. So my 5 was printed because the 5 is less than 6, and it was printed. So for the next one, you see, for the last loop, 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. It comes back again. 6 is not less than 6, so it breaks out. So it is not working anymore. So my loop was stopped somehow. Or another way to include my 5, what I can say that it's less or equal to 5. So it is going to give the same result for me. For the next example, I will give the variable a is equal to, let me just call it 0. I will say while a is less than 10. So right now I have a different conditions. So you see, in the beginning, in the first loop, my a is equal to 0, and the 0 is less than 10, which is give the booleans as a true. So right now I'm going to execute it. I will say print this number is, or let me just say the number is, and I will say a. So you see, the number is a. What does it mean? So in the first loop, it is going to print the number is 0. So right now I want to change. So each time, whenever in the beginning of each loop, before starting the second loop, before starting the next loop, I want to reassign my a. In the beginning it was 0. I don't want to keep it 0 for all the time, otherwise my loop will go infinity. So I need to change my a, and here I will say a is equal to a plus 1. So each time before starting next loop, just add 1 to the a. So it was 0, after that it will be 1, after that it is going to be 2, and so on and so on and so on. So, and each time you see my a used to be 0, it is less than 10, executed. And the last one, it says a is equal to a plus 1, that means 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So my a is not 0 anymore, a is 1. So it comes back to the while loop, and it just double check. If the 2 is less than 10, yes, the boolean is true, executed. A becomes 3, go back again. So a is less than 10, yes, and print that. You see, so let me just round off them. The number is 0, the number is 1, and the number is all the way to the 9. Why number 10 was not printed? So let's imagine we are in this loop, which is a is equal to 9. So right now a is equal to 9, 9 plus 1 is equal to 10, so my a was reassigned, so my a is equal to 10. So it goes back and double check, is the 10 less than 10? The boolean is false, that means my loop is going to stop, so it will not work anymore. So if I print like that one, it is going to be working. So you see, in the while loop, guys, we have we can make one line of code, or we can have like several lines of code. So that is the line. This is the while loop. And also, I just want to focus on that one. So you can say the a is equal to a plus 1, but if you want to make it in a shorter way, so you can say a plus equal to 1. It's the same as, let me just keep it as it is. So a is equal to a plus 1, or what you can say, a is equal plus equal to 1. So that is kind of more professional view. So you can see, so this line and code and that line code is absolutely the same. If you want, you can just keep it, that one. Let me just delete this one. So if I run, there is no error and all of them are working perfectly.